What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Quest Me podcast. My name is Josh. I am your forever host and friend, and we are here to take you through new canon and legends. Of course, I am joined by my friend and co-host. His name is Phil. How are you doing, my dude?
Doing all right, Josh. How about yourself?
I am doing wonderful. We are doing a special little live episode to react to the Ahsoka trailer, which I don't know if you can tell, I'm like kind of like breathing heavily and I'm like trembling a little bit because like, holy shit, we are getting our Hand of Thrawn live action adaptation, and it is real, and it is everything that I've talked about for like 2.5 years now. I've sounded like a crazy conspiracy theorist for a long time, and everything
And
is
sometimes
coming
you've
to
talked about
fruition.
Star Wars.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes. I am like the Alex Jones of Star Wars, and it's like, sometimes it comes true, sometimes. I'm sorry, that was a terrible, terrible name drop, but like, I couldn't think of any other passionate, nutty conspiracy theorists. So anyway, we are here to watch the Ahsoka trailer and have a little reaction to it because it dropped today. There was
not even 12 hours ago.
no, not even. It was probably about 9 Pacific or something like that. That's
Yeah.
usually how they do that stuff. So, thanks, Phil, for coming in and hanging out and doing this trailer review with me. But I give you the rundown. You guys all know, if you're listening in podcast land or watching the video on YouTube, you guys know where to find us. You just go anywhere and search at Quest Me Podcast, and we will pop up. I've been doing a really fun little like fun facts thing. It's the things you might not know about Star Wars, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I have a ton of fun facts about Star Wars. So make sure to follow me and Quest Me on any of our social medias, and you'll see those, and you'll have a good time. But I don't want to spend too much time blabbing or anything. But I will ask you, Phil, how has things been? Like, we were on Trek Wars a couple weeks ago, but you've just been doing your own thing. How are things?
I mean, it's standard summer for me, man. Regular work in the week, Ren Fair work on the weekends.
Is that work,
Those of
though?
you, yeah. I mean,
But if
I'm
you
on my
love what you
feet
do,
for
is it work?
I'm on my feet
Oh,
for a good
okay.
10 hours at a go doing Ren Fair stuff. But
Yeah, that
it's
makes
fun.
sense.
It's fun work.
Hell yeah.
I
And you
wouldn't
get to
I
see all the
wouldn't have been
awesome
doing this for 10
costumes and
years
stuff.
if wouldn't have been doing that for 10 years if I hadn't enjoyed it. So,
Yeah. What can you tell me what your like number one top like cosplay that you have seen at the Ren Fair has been over the
oh,
years?
oh, there was a guy back when I was it was in like 2013. There's a guy in there in a full on like 8 foot tall Minotaur costume, like coming in
Oh,
on
yes.
stilts, like came in on
Yes.
stilts and just kind of set up there inside the front entrance, like never made it up past like that main hill, like the like central kind of split area there.
Dude,
But he just hung out there and took pictures with people for a couple hours before he dipped. It was awesome.
that is
um
fantastic.
yeah, but I we see everything. We see stormtroopers
Oh yeah.
in kilts.
I mean, that makes sense.
I saw.
Do you ever see the
Because
Trekkies show up in
oh
like
yeah,
the
oh yeah, we get the away
uniforms?
teams. We get one of
You
my
would.
favorites just because of our proximity to Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
Um, we get Stargate SG teams
Oh,
coming
that's
in every
funny.
once in a while. They've got the full, you
That's
know,
funny.
the full Stargate garb. It's pretty cool.
I've always
Um,
wanted to carry like a Star Trek badge around with me. I mean, obviously I'm a Star Wars fan, but like just for the Ren Fair, just so when I go to
mhm.
the Ren Fair and I see a Trekkie, I can be like, "You guys are disrupting the Prime Objective. You need to go back to your
have
ship."
you have you not have you even heard of the Prime Directive?
Yeah. to like go off on these Trekkies. I just, because it'd be fun, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like you should do that because you would see them. You'd be more likely to see them than anyone I know. I'm gonna buy you a Star Trek like communicator badge and send it
All
to
right.
you.
All right.
And I
See if
wanna
you can
see a
find me one of
video.
the Section 31 ones. I'll be, Starfleet Black Ops.
Yes. Yeah. And I want a video. I want a video of you like pulling over some Trekkies and be like, "Hey, you!" So
No, but
anyway,
it's been a good week. It's been a good week. Yeah, the Trek Wars thing we did was a lot of fun. I can't wait for y'all to see that. You will
yes,
maybe have seen that here, but before you actually see this, if you're not watching it
yeah,
live.
yeah. By the time you see this, the Trek Wars will definitely be up. If you're watching it live, which I don't see anyone in the chat right now, but if you're watching it live or watching it on YouTube, the Trek Wars is coming out on Wednesday, July 12th. So probably evening time, somewhere around there. So I'll promote it heavily on the 13th. We'll go and say that.
It'll be good. It'll be good. It was a blast.
Oh man, it was so much fun. And like, I was talking earlier about because Ahsoka came out today, and I've been jacked ever since that trailer came out. Like jacked. Because this is.
Dude, I think I can feel
premiered.
you shaking from Colorado.
Dude. It's awesome because this is the trailer they showed at the celebration a couple years ago. That people, I mean, if it's not the exact trailer, it's very similar to what they showed a couple years ago, and like there were clips and like online images and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, you get to see Thrawn, this is freaking amazing. And now seeing it in full HD with like really good sound and stuff, like this story is gonna be epic.
Should
this is
be
going
good,
to
man.
break open the Star Wars universe. This I guarantee Ahsoka will be the Avengers of the Star Wars universe. Like this is going to literally like rip it wide open. So,
I loved the idea that we're getting such a reunion of our Rebels friends. We've
it's
been
the conclusion,
working toward
man. We're
it.
gonna get the conclusion.
We've been working toward it for the better part of a decade now.
Yeah,
and now we get to actually see it happen. So.
Right. So anyway, I feel like we should watch this trailer.
Yeah, man, let's do it.
And if YouTube decides to shut us down for playing the trailer, fine. But we're gonna watch this trailer and then we're gonna talk about it and probably dissect it, maybe not scene by scene, but like kind of go through it and just talk about give some predictions and things like that. But this is gonna be crazy. I don't know how else to describe it. It's gonna
be big.
So I had to make sure that the sound was attached to this because I didn't want to play this without sound. So if there's no sound, Phil, please let me know. But here we go. Let's do this.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one. You and I both know who could help you with this.
She's still just as stubborn as ever.
I bet your master found you difficult at times.
Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me, Master.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
Buckle up.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain. You have no power.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
I mean, like,
So good.
It's just
So good.
from beginning to end. The
Yeah.
very beginning of this trailer, where Balin says war is inevitable. Like, yeah, duh. This is Star Wars, so there's always gonna be a war, right? No, all jokes aside, it just like it punches you in the gut from the very beginning, and I just want to like. I want your
I'm
initial
so
reaction when you
sad.
first watched this. When you took a dump earlier, when you were at work to go watch this trailer, what was your initial reaction walking back to your desk?
Well, I watched it, on my lunch break after, but I'd forgotten that Balin is Ray Stevenson, and
R.I.P.
and then I was very, very sad,
Yeah.
because he died, not quite 2 months ago.
Right.
So
And very
and
like
I-
unexpectedly too, which is
yes,
really sad.
well, because he's been in Star Wars before.
Yep.
He's the voice of Gar Saxon.
Yeah.
Way back when. And then, of course, Punisher Warzone, and the Thor movies as Volstagg. So, I mean, he's been,
Right.
no, he's Volstagg.
He's
was-
been around the block for
Was
sure.
Volstagg. So, I mean, I was stoked to see him. I love that he's going to be kind of our, ostensible like main antagonist right now.
You know he's
like-
gonna be the Seaboth.
Oh, yeah.
Seaboth of this, right?
Which will lead to some interesting issues with casting, if they
Yes.
if they have to clone him, but doable.
Yeah.
Thrawn looked amazing.
Yes.
The
those
the
glowing red
eyes,
dude.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, no, the
It's
eyes
like
look.
it's like reading those books, like everything I imagined, It's perfect.
We got one of my other favorite actors showing up in there, with doing the voice. We got David Tennant.
Doctor Who, right?
Hu Yang, he's the droid.
Right, but he's
Yeah,
in
but Doctor Who, yeah.
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 Which is funny that the droid's name is Hu Yang.
Yeah. No, but yes, the 10th Doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's so funny. So like when you were finished watching it, like I know that for me when I was most of the time when I finish watching a trailer, there's like little tears in my eyes, like little globs, and so like by the end of it, I don't remember a lot, so I have to watch it again.
sometimes
not
I'll do
many
that just to
people
go
are
try
like
to catch
that.
details.
Right.
'Cause, I mean, we'd seen some of this footage before. We'd seen Hera. We'd gotten the previews, showing us Hera before. But like now we get to see Sabine show up again. We get the conversations with her and Ahsoka. We got to see the, albeit just a hologram and probably just the little recorded message from Ezra.
Oh, from Ezra, which, dude, that's the exact message
Dude.
from Rebels.
No, that's
From
the thing.
Rebels.
I was like, they redid the message, the recorded message from
And
Rebels.
I cannot remember the actor that's playing Ezra now, but he says the exact same line of dialogue.
Yeah, no, he's got the delivery down.
Oh, it's perfect.
So
He sounds just like Ezra would, and I love that they show the animation of the characters
Yes.
at one point, because like
yeah,
it's
the
like if
little
Sabine
mural
had an adaptation, and exactly, and she
That
had
was
drawn
good.
those characters. Like how cool is it to kind of incorporate the Rebel series? Oh, dude, I'm sorry, I have so much. To
It's
say about
all
this.
good, man. I do hope we get to see Steve Bloom pop back up, voicing Zeb. At some point in
yeah,
this, since we had him in Mando season
Mandalorian.
3.
I would assume he would show up.
Yeah.
Like this, I'll have to watch the trailer a lot more, but I'm sure there are some camera tricks like
Yeah.
they do in Marvel where they're hiding characters, you know?
Oh yeah, no, I mean, especially with characters who are mostly digitally inserted in the first
Right,
place
right.
anyway.
Sorry.
So yeah, the action sequences we've seen so far look amazing. The whole speeder bike power slide underneath the ship with Sabine there. It's looking
And
good.
what is that, a baby R2D2? Like a little mini
It
R2?
is some sort of astromech with like one big eye. It's like,
yeah. It's going to be the new fan favorite, you know, like the
Yes.
BB-8 or the Dio
I mean,
droid. Or
we do also get, Chopper in live action.
Yes, yes, but that
So,
was
I
a given.
mean-
That was a given
Oh, yeah.
already, and like they gotta have some droid for Chopper to like argue with, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, does it, after watching this, does it leave you more excited to see
Oh,
the
definitely.
show, or are you at the same hype level?
I mean, at this point, there's not a lot that can hype me up more for Ahsoka. But I mean, we've been waiting for this since, God, what was it? When
2019, I think,
when
is
she
Rebels
showed
ended.
up in Mando.
Yes, 2019 was Mando season 2, I believe. So
Yeah,
4 years now.
Yeah, I mean, we've been waiting for this for
A
like
while.
4 years.
A while.
So
And yeah, I remember the first time Ahsoka dropped Thrawn.
Yeah.
When she's like,
when she name drops that she's
like,
looking for him.
Well,
Well, I mean, that
man,
was
I
what
lost
really
it.
like kickstarted a lot of my involvement here.
Right.
It was like,
Right.
hey,
Oh, wait a minute. This is actually kind of cool.
yeah,
And yeah, I can't. Rebels has been my favorite Star Wars property
like ever.
since
Yeah,
for a long time. You know, I connected so much with all those characters and had such a fun ride watching that whole series, like episode by episode. It was religious. I had it off at work. I was like, I need this day off at this time. I think it was Thursday.
We got a new episode of
by 8
Rebels.
or something like that. Yeah, and it was like I need that time off because that's how much I loved this
Yeah.
show. And when it ended, I was like, oh my God, like, dude, when this show ended and they disappeared with Thrawn, that is when I started going, holy shit, they're about
What's
to
next?
do a Hand of Thrawn series.
Yeah,
They set it up so perfectly. And this is one reason that we've reviewed all the books, the Hand of Thrawn books.
No, I mean that's why we've been doing the book club.
Yeah, and the book club is ending in August. Well, not ending, but we're concluding the Thrawn
We'll
story
wrap
in
up.
August.
We will wrap up with the Last Command here
Yep, right
in
before-
about a month.
Right before Ahsoka comes out, those last
Yep.
couple episodes will come out for Last Command. But right when the Purgles, which, by the way, we get to see an actual Purgle up close in this
Yep.
trailer. We saw it in Mando season
We
3,
saw it briefly in Mando season 3.
but we get to see this one up close and the tentacles. And it's like, oh, I sent you guys a still shot, I think, earlier. Was it you
Yeah.
guys? I
Yeah.
can't remember what chapter
No,
it
you
was,
threw
but
that
I
into
said,
the
okay.
that was in the podcast in the
And I know
group
I
chat.
posted it on Twitter too, but like, man, when those Purgles took Thrawn and Ezra and just disappeared to wherever
Wow.
the F they disappeared, I was like, Outbound Flight, anybody? Like,
Yeah. No,
it-
because I
it-
mean,
it's a
it's been
different.
it'll have been 5.5 years between
Yeah.
when the last episode of Rebels aired and when
And now?
Ahsoka
Okay.
drops.
Wow.
So yeah,
Dude, but
5.5 years, man.
But just and in those 5.5 years, I have imagined and played it in my head and thought about what kind of story we're gonna get and what kind of, like, you know, Hand of Thrawn adaptation we're gonna get, and I think it's gonna be like we're gonna see a lot of different plot points coming. We're gonna see different characters being named different, like Talon Card and Mara Jade and those kind of things. But like this is gonna be pretty close, and it also could set up the future in a lot of ways.
I mean, it will. There's a lot of time still for them to fit in, like between when this is set,
Right.
and
But
the
even
events of Force Awakens. So
even with them ending with a movie, I think they're calling it Heir to the Empire. That's what
because
the movie's
it's
gonna be
Filoni
called.
wrapping up a bunch of his live action stuff.
Yeah,
with
the Mandoverse is going to basically all culminate into this one movie, and I think that movie could really give a future to like even like the Rey story. The Rey story could be connected to this in
I
some
mean, I'm
way.
sure it will be. I have no doubt.
We might get an adaptation of the Vong at some point. Not the exact same thing, but some sort of galaxy destroying.
Well,
race,
I mean, the whole implication is that that's what Thrawn was.
Correct.
Off
in those old books,
the Outer Rim,
Outbound Flight, and those books. It was and the reason he went out to the Outer Rim and was
which
gone
was, I
when
mean,
the
kind of a
Empire was
retcon
destroyed.
in and of itself, but
Sure, but at the same time, like if you take just those main basic plot points, you can form them into.
He went out this way to look for an incoming threat.
Right. Well, and
I mean, I'm still mad that we never got an actual like adaptation of the Truce at Bakura because I always loved the Siwoo. But
I
mean,
right.
Lizard people, like non-Trandoshan lizard people, like
right.
Yeah, we've got Bosk. He's cool, but what if we have more people who are like more like dinosaurs and captured people's souls to run their spaceships?
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah,
they're like the Shang Tsung race of Star Wars. That's right. Holy shit. But what I'm saying is like in Outbound Flight, Thrawn was sent to go find the Vong, to find the race, to see the threat. And in this adaptation, Thrawn was thrusted out there against his will, but he could see a threat out there, like which would motivate him to come back and like warn the Emperor, to warn the,
I mean, what's his
like,
loyalty? What's his loyalty to the Empire like?
Right.
I mean, who does he is he working with these Inquisitors who are still out there? How do Balin and Shin tie into this? What's their...
And it seems like Balin and Shin don't know where Thrawn is because they're looking for him.
Yeah.
Still. Same with the lady. I can't remember her name, but she was in that episode 2 or season 2 of Mandalorian when Ahsoka fights her and asks her.
Where
Thrawn is, but she's in this trailer as well. She's like the one holding the map.
Yeah.
And so they're all looking for Thrawn and trying to find him. It's not like Thrawn is coming back.
No.
Like just out of nowhere and taking over like he did in the original series. Because in the original series, he just shows up and he's like, oh, shit. I guess I gotta like rebuild this empire or whatever. In this one, it's more like they're trying to find him and bring him into the fold and like make him that appointed leader. Appoint him some sort of Emperor-esque replacement.
And we've seen other characters, throughout Mandalorian who are going to be connected to this too. We've seen the Captain Peleon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We saw Peleon come back,
which is another character that was introduced by Timothy Zahn.
And then kind of had a little in and out of canon journey for a while there. But then, whatever Moff Gideon's up to is going to have to tie into this.
Well, Moff Gideon's dead.
What?
He died in season 3. He's dead. No, he's
unless
he's got a clone. Maybe Moff Gideon will be the Jorah Sibos because it'll be a clone of Moff Gideon.
I mean, he was working on it. And
that would be kind of funny.
I find it hard to believe that they would just, completely write Giancarlo Esposito out of anything at this point in his career. But
Right. So
But,
one
I
thing
mean-
that I really wanted to talk about in this trailer is this
Yeah.
scene right here, where
Get it.
Shin looks at Sabine and says, "You have no power."
mm-hmm.
Does that mean Sabine doesn't really actually know how to use the Force? Or is she just really weak in the Force? And after apparently Ahsoka leaves her, like these are just
or
some,
is it metaphorical? You know, is
Right,
it literal
right.
or is it metaphorical?
Right. I've seen it both ways on the
Like,
internet.
is it you have no authority here? Is
Right.
it
Did they cut off a word there? Did
Yeah.
she say you have no power here? Or is it just you have no power?
is it a
You
comparative thing?
muggle.
Yeah, is it like, in relation, in comparison to me, you are nothing, you have no power?
Right.
How's Anakin tie into all of this?
Well, that's a good question because I
Balin
kinda
knows him.
think- and I think
Balin
that-
knew him anyway,
I think
and
there
knew
might
him
be some
as
flashbacks.
Anakin.
I think there could be some flashbacks. And
I
see,
think-
here's
here's
here's why I
Hayden
think this. Here's-
Christensen's-
so-
I mean,
so here's my thinking, right?
yeah.
Ashley Eckstein played the original voice of Ahsoka.
Yes,
And-
and I would love to see.
A lot of fans were upset that
Yeah,
Ashley
that she
Eckstein
didn't
wasn't
come
invited
back.
to play.
Yeah.
What if they saved it for a flashback
For
episode
this.
with Anakin?
That's been my hope since that first episode with Rosario Dawson showing up as a grown-up Ahsoka.
Yeah,
I was like,
'cause I think it
want
would
them
work.
to do. They could do anything in between with Ashley Eckstein in the costume.
Mm-hmm. And I think it would work.
And I think
because
it would be-
Dawson and Eckstein have like pretty similar voices, and it's very like it's similar, but Rosario's older.
Yeah,
You can tell.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
obviously,
there's a
the time has
weatheredness to her
passed.
voice.
so
So
I would
I'm
love very
hoping-
much to see her.
hoping-
That
But
would
yeah.
make the series for me.
Oh my god, yeah. dude.
Like,
I
like,
think
no joke.
seeing any sort of flashback like that with Anakin and Ahsoka in live action would kind of
Mhm.
make the series for me.
Yeah.
I just, man, I watched this trailer so many times, and there were so many different scenes that, like, even with Sabine cutting her hair,
Yeah.
that's a callback to Kanan, dude.
Yeah.
Kanan cuts his hair, and like,
Yup.
and it's during that scene when she's watching Ezra's,
The
message,
hologram,
and
the
he's
recorded
saying,
message.
he's saying sometimes as a Jedi you have to make the hard choices.
And I'm loving how many of these, messages from departed in whatever way characters we've been getting in Star Wars. Because we get what is it? It's a Nemec and his
Yes,
and his
that message to
manifesto
Andor.
in Andor, his manifesto. And then
That was beautiful too.
and then Cassian's mom's recorded speech for her at her funeral.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
Andor
no,
was so
just-
good with that stuff. And
It was, and I all of my love to the WGA and to SAG-AFTRA, who may or may not be joining the WGA in their strike within the next day or so. I will wait as long as it takes for all the folks involved in the production of this stuff to get their proper
yeah, dude, I support any
compensation
strike.
because
I support anything that, like, especially writers, because writers
yeah.
and animators and graphic designers, like, they all get the shit end of the stick. And
Yeah.
like, I like
And
to think that
especially,
my
like-
money that I pay for with this stuff and that I, all the time that I spend, like, I like to think that all of that money goes to those people, but it doesn't.
Mhm.
Doesn't go to the writers. It doesn't go to those graphic artists. Like it sucks. Like,
less
they deserve-
directly anyway. So
Yeah,
know.
and like if you want good stuff, you gotta pay for the good shit.
exactly.
It's been like that since we were in middle school, man. You gotta pay for the good shit. So I don't know what the deal is.
No, point being though that without the writers, that kind of speech like that would not get to happen. So
Right.
I'm stoked to see what we get out of it, and I am very much looking forward to the future of Star Wars television to come.
And
But,
movies at the
you
same
know,
time.
we're
man.
getting some
Like,
good shit.
I'm so glad that they have finally given Filoni a little more reign.
Yeah.
You know, they've given him more, like, because they gave him and Favreau, you know, Mandalorian. And they're
Yeah.
like, see what you can do with this. Let's see what happens. And they knocked it out of the park.
They
And
did.
now
They did.
Filoni, with his stories in his head, and Favreau with the way that he can weave a bigger
And
story
his
into
connections.
smaller stories.
And his connections to be able to bring in the talent
Right.
to make these things happen.
Right. But I mean, Favreau did like, he helped with the whole Iron Man to the Avengers thing. Like that.
Yeah.
He knows how to weave a giant story into smaller stories and then end it with a super climactic epic, you know? And it just, like, as soon as they teamed up, as soon as, you know, they were like, yeah, Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau are doing Mandalorian, I was like, this is the start of something beautiful.
Kind of here. Oh.
And it's in Filoni we trust. Hashtag in Filoni we trust. Like, that's been a thing that's gotten me banned in a couple places on Facebook the last couple days. But, like,
Stop
seriously,
starting fights with people, man. No one hates Star Wars fans like Star Wars fans.
I don't hate Star Wars fans though. Like, I love Star Wars fans. I just, like, and I don't hate the sequels. You guys got to watch the Trek Wars, okay? Because we have a really good discussion about the Trek Wars, and a lot of our points are very, very, very valid.
No, that was a fun conversation.
And, like,
speaking
a lot of the disgruntledness that we have, especially for the Rise of Skywalker and the Last Jedi, but, like, there are good points. So check out the Trek Wars.
Speaking of, Ro has been doing some breakdowns tonight of the Ahsoka trailer as well. So, if y'all aren't checking out the Scar of Scuttlebutt,
yeah, it's at Scarif Podcast, I believe.
Yep.
Check them out for sure. They're a lot of fun. I love Ro.
Ro's having a blast with stuff already.
I hope
today.
that he comes on for an episode of Ahsoka, because
I bet we
we'd
could.
have a really
I
good
bet we could
discussion.
wrangle him into it.
Yeah,
I bet we
for
could
sure.
drag him away from his other show for long enough to come do an episode of Ahsoka with us.
Probably. Speaking of that, if anyone listening to this or watching this right now wants to come and discuss an episode of Ahsoka, send me a DM, because I'm always looking for new Star Wars fans, for new friends. Like, I love talking to people about Star Wars.
New friends, old friends, occasional enemies. Jesse.
Yeah. Oh, Jesse. He's gonna. I mean, he's always gonna troll Star Wars because of who he is, and that's okay. I'm always gonna troll Star Trek, even though I have a soft spot for Star Trek, just like he has a soft spot for Star Wars. Like, we're always gonna troll each other. We've been friends for 31 years, so, like, it's been an ongoing rivalry.
Nah, it's gonna be good, y'all. I'm really looking forward to it, and catching the trailer today has just made me even more excited, honestly, about diving in and breaking down the episodes of Ahsoka with you guys as we go.
Oh, man, and I'm again. I have a little bit of time to prepare. There's a lot of stuff going on. I got Comic-Con next week. You guys, did you know that I'm going to Comic-Con to go judge a costume contest? Like, the California Browncoats invited Quest Me and Sudden Inevitable to go judge a costume contest out at the San Diego Comic-Con. So I haven't really, like, announced that, I guess, but I'm going to be doing some live stuff out there. Yeah, I'm going to be doing some live stuff out there. I'm going to hopefully be talking to some people. I might be able to get some cool people to do my Star Wars fun fact with me, which will be a lot of fun. But I'm going to be at Comic-Con the entire weekend. So if anyone out there is watching and they're going to be at SDCC, like, come find me. I'll be in the Quest Me t-shirt. I'll be in the Quest Me shirt. And I'll be at the California Browncoats booth a lot. So definitely come hang. But yeah, this trailer I'm pumped. I'm gonna watch this trailer 1,000 more times before the show comes out, and I'm going to be ready to break
Hell
this
yeah.
stuff down. And I'm going to be ready to tell everyone that looked at me like I was crazy with my whole Hand of Thrawn conspiracy. And I'm going to look at them and I'm going to laugh a lot. And it might not be directly, it might not be like a direct remake of Hand of Thrawn, but there are already
There's
plot points that are
already
being
there's
taken
already
from those
enough.
stories.
There's already enough of a foundation.
Yeah.
In
and
place.
with them working with Timothy Zahn has been a part of Disney since they took over. Like
he's still doing it. He's
there.
written new Thrawn books for them.
He's there. He's very good about keeping things, close to the chest and like
they
not talking
are
about stuff, but he's there.
They're still heavily reliant and have been. They are still heavily reliant on the legend canon that he founded.
Yep.
And that's never going to change. I mean, the entire expanded Star Wars universe is built on the shoulders of Timothy Zahn. So,
yep. And it's wonderful, man. It's going to be great. I don't want to go too far with this. We discussed a lot about this trailer, and for 2.5 minutes, I don't want to talk for an hour.
Yeah, no. It was a great trailer, awesome action, great music already.
I'm giving it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean it's only a trailer, but it's a
10
trailer.
Out of 10.
Yeah, no, it's good.
It's one of the better trailers that I've seen for Star Wars in a long time. And especially being a Rebels fanatic and a Thrawn fanatic and like all of that stuff. And that's the thing is like, there's probably a lot of people out there that are like, I don't really care about any of this. Like, who's the blue guy? Who's the girl with the weird hair? Like, what's going on? There's a lot of people out there that have no clue who these characters are.
It's going to be interesting to see how they handle some of the writing of the Rebels characters for people who didn't watch it.
Yep.
So there if you're watching an Ahsoka series, at least you should have some idea of who she is, at least. So,
Yeah. There are a lot of people that just watch Star Wars because it's Star Wars.
Yeah.
But those are the people that are going to complain about it. And it's going to be like, well, go read a book or go watch a couple episodes of a cartoon,
Yeah.
And then you understand.
We'll be there to help guide them through. If they're having trouble, we'll be there.
Yep, and I actually have a fantastic guide on Twitter. If you follow me at Quest Me Podcast on Twitter, there's a guide there that gives you the episodes that you need to watch from all the different series to get you prepared for Ahsoka. There's also a little excerpt at the bottom that says you should read the Hand of Thrawn series, but it's a little hard to read 3 books in a month, so maybe watch a YouTube video about it.
For whom?
Well,
I'm kidding.
People that aren't librarians.
I promise to only use my powers for good.
I also get very lucky and get to read books at work as well, so I am able to catch up with that, which is nice. But anyway, Phil, is there any last thoughts that you have about this trailer at all?
It looks spectacular. I'm very. He looks a little eerily like a photoshopped blue Data. Just
kind of.
There's a little in that particular shot. There's a little bit of a Brent Spiner likeness, and I know it's just the hairline and the slightly unnatural skin tone color. It's just that combination, but it's just like you can just throw him in there right next to Data and just be like, yeah, no, they could be cousins. But anyway, it's great.
But he's still menacing. He still looks like he's looking at you like he's about to wreck your whole world.
I look forward to seeing how well they are able to establish him as a threat.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I think in Filoni we trust, man, because they're gonna do a good job. I have no doubt in my mind that by the end of this series we're gonna be like, oh shit, Thrawn's about to fuck shit up. He's got like 1,000 Star Destroyers behind him. Let me ask you this: how do you think Palpatine got all those Star Destroyers?
Oh yeah, no, there's no way he did that all on his own.
I mean, this is directly going to lead into the sequel trilogy. It's not going to completely retcon it, but it's at least going to give us
It's
going to
give us some more explanation.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah, they can now give us a little better thread between
a little bit more of a backstory that makes, like, it sucks that
Some
they
of
have
the-
to make a whole series to make the Rise of Skywalker make sense. But if it involves Thrawn, I'll take it.
I'm looking forward to it, man. It's gonna be fun.
Absolutely. So once
We'll
again,
see
I
you
did not make a
all
closing
in
video.
August for it, y'all.
Yes.
It's gonna be great.
Follow us everywhere at Questme Podcast on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all the stuff. Just follow us there, and you'll see all of our videos, all of our shorts, all the times we go live, and definitely be on the lookout for our Last Command review. It will be coming out probably second, third week of August, and it's going to be a good time. So once again, thank you guys all for hanging out with us, and I hope you have a great night. May the Force be with you.